Thank you, everybody. It is wonderful to be back at Ag Progress Days, and I want to just say to your incredible president here at Penn State, you can feel her energy, and I want you to know that even when she's got to wear those suits and be in the business meetings and all that, she just was at one at the governor's residence with me a couple weeks ago. She's wearing that Think Ag button everywhere she goes. She believes in it. She leads that way. Her authenticity is real, and I'm proud to be your partner. Thank you for hosting us here today. I'm proud to be back, and I'm especially proud to be here today for the first time as your governor, as the 48th governor of this great Commonwealth, just a few months into my term. You know, I talk about it all the time and in all the places, just how important agriculture is, not just to the heritage of this great Commonwealth, but it is a key driver of our economy today and in the future. I think a lot about our history. I think a lot about the awesome responsibility that's been bestowed upon me for this period of time, trying to learn more about our rich traditions, to celebrate them, and to learn from them, to think about the direction we need to go in. I thought about it just the other day in Lancaster when I was at Silver Valley Farm, a 10th generation family farm. I think about it there. I think about it in big agriculture producing factories and settings. I think about how we need to make sure both are included in the future success of our Commonwealth, that each are important and that we have to build on each in order to make progress as a Commonwealth. I think a lot about this event too, because this is where agricultural innovation gets highlighted. I think it's a beautiful place, and I thought it was beautiful the way President Bendapudi talked about this being the love letter to our agriculture sector. I think it truly is a love letter to our farmers and others. You see, here at Penn State, the Penn State College of Agriculture Science, y'all have been a longtime pioneer of agriculture science, not just here in the Commonwealth, but across our country. And I know you all understand that important tradition and our rich history. Penn State, of course, offered the first bachelor degree for agriculture studies in the nation way back in 1861. Again, thinking about our history so we can chart our path forward well into a prosperous future. Today, Penn State continues that legacy as a world leader of ag research and training, driving innovation in the agriculture community, providing a hub for our farmers and research institutions to both share resources and to share know-how. You can see it all around us today and over these few days, how Penn State is connecting our farmers here in each of our 67 counties and indeed all across the globe. The reach is worldwide. Listen, I am so proud of Penn State's history, so proud of all you've done. And you need to know I'm a Pitt dad, so for me to say that, that's a big deal. It's a big deal, and I couldn't be more excited to represent you as your governor. That legacy, that work that you have done over so many years has fueled the economic progress of our Commonwealth since our founding. Look, Pennsylvania, we all know, is home to about 53,000 farms that cover 7.5 million acres and support 1 in 10 jobs across our great Commonwealth. Every year, our ag sector contributes $132 billion to our economy. I think that's great, but I'm competitive as hell. I want it to be $150 billion. It should be 1 in 8 or 1 in 9 jobs. I'm proud of the fact that we're number 1 in mushrooms, but we shouldn't be number 3 in certain organics. We should be number 1 there as well. I want to be number 1 in everything right here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and we're going to build that because of your hard work and our collective determination. And to build that, we got to be smart. We got to be focused on the research. The kind of research that's happening here at Penn State can take us even further. And importantly, we need to connect the dots between what happens on our farms, what happens in our labs researching AI, what happens in our workforce, what happens in our elementary schools and in our high schools. All of those dots need to be connected. And that's the vision that I'm trying to bring to this office, and this vision I'm trying to bring at this important moment in our Commonwealth. That is the focus of my work. Let me explain the granularity of that. I believe if we want to grow our economy, if we want to create jobs, then we must invest in our farms and in our agriculture sector. They are inextricably linked. They have to be put together. Too often times in our history, notwithstanding our great heritage, agriculture has been left out of conversations about economic growth and development. Yes, we have focused on life sciences. Yes, we have focused on manufacturing, correctly so. But agriculture must be in the same sentence as that every single time we talk about growing our economy and creating more prosperity. In my first 7 months as your governor, we've tried to change that conversation and make sure agriculture is at the center of everything we do. As Secretary Redding knows, it is critically important that we have a direct line between our farmers, what they do every single day, the food we eat on our kitchen tables, and our individual prosperity and freedom. And I just want to take a moment in front of all of you to thank Secretary Redding for letting me convince him to not retire when he had the opportunity to. We're grateful to have you back. Thank you. He is an extraordinary leader, someone who teaches me something every single day, and someone who I am proud to serve as a senior member of my cabinet. Look, he understands like I do, when we connect the dots between our farmers, our universities like Penn State, the latest technology, and our workforce, we can have remarkable growth. Here's just a couple of examples. A couple months ago, I had the opportunity to visit a place called Little Leaf Farms in Carbon County for their grand opening of their new 10-acre greenhouse, an expansion that is going to make them the largest CEA lettuce grower in the world. Not in Pennsylvania, not in the nation, but in the world. Little Leaf supports about 200 jobs in McAdoo, and they are developing innovative and sustainable ways to make us a leader on lettuce production. Technology, farming, coming together and focused on creating prosperity and opportunity. Our Commonwealth was proud to invest about $4 million to help bring Little Leaf Farms' vision to life, to help them make it a reality. But this is just one example of what we can accomplish when we work together. In June, I had the chance to visit Brett Reinford's dairy farm in Juniata County, where they have installed a methane digester to turn waste into enough power for their farm and for a neighboring community. The Commonwealth also helped Reinford Farm to make that investment so they could not only grow their dairy farming operation, but they could keep more waste out of landfills and power communities nearby. It's a win-win. And it's an example of how we've got to bring tech and farming closer together and how the Commonwealth needs to make these smart investments going forward. Government should be a support to business and farmers, not a barrier. But I'm here to tell you, in the presence of many leading lawmakers who are here with us today, we can't just simply throw money at this. We have to invest smart, and we have to move quickly. So let's talk a little bit about how we propose to move quickly. In just my first couple weeks in office, I signed an executive order to improve our licensing, permitting, and application process so that that will no longer prevent hardworking Pennsylvanians, hardworking farmers from getting their businesses, getting their farms off the ground, or getting them to expand. Let me tell you something. We have already made progress since I signed that executive order. I'll give you just one example. If you're going for some sort of corporate filing, the day I took office in January, it took 8 weeks to get that done in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You know what it takes today? 3 days to get that license. That is one example of the progress we are making when it comes to our licensing and permit process. And hear me on this. I'm very serious about this. We are about to publish a list of each and every one of the 2,400 permits, licenses, and applications that this Commonwealth issues. And next to each and every one of them, you will see a time certain that you will get an answer. So if you apply for a license, it's supposed to take 14 days, it will say 14 days next to it. And you know what happens? If we don't hit that 14th day, if we go into day 15, we will give you all your money back for your application fee. A money-back guarantee. And let me tell you something. I'm competitive as hell. I don't want to give any of you your money back. We're going to get this done on time, and we are working quickly to make sure you have the tools you need. There have been 2 secretaries helping lead this effort for us, and they're both here today. The aforementioned Secretary Redding, but it's also important for you to know, because I know you interact with the Department of Environmental Protection quite a bit in your operations. I'm proud to be joined today by Secretary Negrin. It is not often that a DEP secretary comes to Ag Progress Days. He is here today, and he is committed to speeding up the process so you can get your permits more quickly. We can protect public safety, protect public health, protect our environment, and move quickly. And Secretary Negrin and Secretary Redding are doing just that. Thank you. That's just one way we're making progress for our farmers and for agriculture here in Pennsylvania. At every step in our recent budget negotiations, I doubled down on the importance of investing in ag. I made clear that that was a key priority for me as we went into our negotiations with the legislature. That's why the budget I signed last week fully funds Pennsylvania's Farm Bill in its 5th year and also includes major new investments to help farmers deal with the many challenges that they face today, including high-path avian influenza. This budget includes another $34 million in our state's high-path avian influenza recovery fund to make sure that our poultry farmers are made whole if they lose birds to high-path avian influenza. In addition to that, my vision and our budget opens up new markets for our farmers, providing funds for a new organic center of excellence that will boost resources available to Pennsylvania's diverse plant industries. It includes new investments in a fresh food financing initiative, which improves access to Pennsylvania-grown and processed and produced foods. Together, we funded our state food purchase program, which provides emergency goods assistance for low-income Pennsylvanians. Together, Democrats and Republicans made meaningful investments in agriculture and meaningful investments in the good people of Pennsylvania. That's not all, though. We are working hard in my administration to put real capital in our rural communities because we know that our farmers need thriving communities as well for workforce and for their own quality of life. That's why we now have a plan and the funding to connect all 326,000 homes and businesses, churches, and VFWs that don't have high-speed, affordable internet right now, to connect them within the next 5 years here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We are going to get this done and make sure you're connected to high-speed internet. We're also making investments in rural health care to make sure you have the resources you need, and on workforce and training opportunities to prepare the next generation of workers. If we want to thrive in ag and we want to grow our economy, let's be real, we have to grow our workforce. I believe, and hear me on this, we need to teach agriculture skills in our high schools as part of our VOTEC curriculum. That's right. Every student, every person in this Commonwealth should have the freedom to chart their own course and the opportunity to succeed. That's why our budget that I recently signed into law significantly increases our investment in VOTEC and expanding it to more rural communities. This is common sense stuff that if we invest today, we will have the workforce we need of tomorrow. That's the kind of work they're doing at a place called the Leaf Project in Perry County. My amazing wife, Lori, our First Lady, was there just last week. And to be clear, not for a photo op, she was in the dirt with her hands, no gloves, working with these incredible students. from disadvantaged backgrounds on learning agriculture and culinary skills that will allow them to start successful careers in those industries. We need to invest in those students. We need to invest in the next generation. Those of you who are working today, I know you're concerned about the pipeline of workers tomorrow. We invest today, you will have that pipeline opened up tomorrow. I am passionate about building, rebuilding, and expanding our workforce, and I believe that that future success runs right through the farms all across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Now look, we've accomplished a lot. I'm also mindful that there's some unfinished business still in our state capitol. I hope the General Assembly will come back from their summer recess soon and finally pass funding for Penn State and our other state-related institutions. They deserve that funding. It's critical, and we need it right now. And while that business remains unfinished, it is important to take note that Democrats and Republicans are working together. We're embracing common sense solutions. And I know when we do that, and we lead that way together, we can get big things done. I also know when you invest in a place like Penn State, it pays dividends for the good people of Pennsylvania. So I hope they will send that bill to my desk soon so I can sign it and we can drive those resources out to all of you here. Now, in addition to the work in our state capitol, I've been keeping a close eye on what's happening in our U.S. Capitol. And this is where I want to close. Right now in Washington, D.C., the Congress of the United States is negotiating a federal farm bill, which is going to provide a significant amount of support here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and all across this country for our farmers and our ag industry. I know we are collectively proud that for the first time in over a century, we have a Pennsylvanian at the table, quite literally writing and leading on this bill. And I couldn't be more proud that Congressman G.T. Thompson is with us today. That's right. Now, Congressman, I want you to know I talk a lot about you behind your back. So I'm glad to be able to talk about you to your face, which is to say, and I've told room after room after room this is one of the most important people in the nation right now for our farmers, and he's from right here in Pennsylvania. He shares our values. He understands our heritage, and we've had many conversations where we both agree that the future of this Commonwealth and this country runs right through our farmlands. And we need to make sure he has the support, the know-how, the knowledge, the backing that he needs to go and negotiate a hell of a farm bill for all of us. Congressman, we appreciate your leadership very, very much. Thank you. Thank you. So, look, our administration is going to continue to partner with Republicans and Democrats in the legislature, partner with great institutions like Penn State, of course, partner with our ag industry and our great farmers all across this Commonwealth. This should be a place where everyone has the freedom to chart their own course and the opportunity to succeed. And the rich history that you stand on, the legacy that you have today to learn from and that you will leave behind will contribute to that fight for prosperity, contribute to that fight for our collective freedom and opportunity. This is a moment where we have to come together to show respect for that heritage, show respect for our farmers, and think big about our investments in the future and how they can leave an indelible mark on the future of this great Commonwealth and through that, this nation. It's my honor to serve as the 48th governor of this Commonwealth and to be back here with all of you today. I salute the work you do, and I'm proud to be your partner. Thank you all very, very much. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.